Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jess again, and Cosmo Dog, and just gonna give you kind of a little life update on life in Vancouver. Um, as much as I really didn't want to move here and was kind of dreading it, I really like it so far. Um, this is a great neighborhood that I'm living in. um, so many of the people that live really close to here have dogs, and so whenever I'm out walking Cosmo, we get to see lots of different dogs, and he has his little friends in the neighborhood that we'll see out walking around. And excuse me, um, I even discovered that there's a park, a pretty good sized park, just down the street from me. It's not a dog park, but I never really see a whole lot of people there, no matter what time of day I go. But anyway, I discovered this park, and around 9 o'clock every morning, there is a little gathering of people and their dogs. And people let their dogs off leash, even though they're not really supposed to, because it's not a dog park. But all the dogs that go regularly are really well behaved. They're fine off leash, come when they're called, that sort of thing. And they're all really good with each other. So we just make sure to keep an eye on them and make sure they're not going into the street or anything, but that hasn't been a problem. But anyway, there's this gathering of people at the dog park, and I've made some new friends that way, and we even started calling our little group the Park Pack. And I think that just as like a surprise gift for the others who go regularly, I want to make t-shirts for all of us, and like the front will say like Park Pack, and then the back would say, like, mine would say Cosmo's mom, and the other would say like Grizzly's dad, etc. So that's kind of cool. And people in general around here are just really friendly. Like, people in the Seattle area are generally polite, but not necessarily friendly. Like, they don't necessarily go that extra mile to, like, talk to someone they don't know and maybe get to know them a little bit and be their friend. And it's actually, like, a phenomenon called the Seattle Freeze. It makes making new friends and dating up there really difficult, because people just kind of have this general air of like wanting to keep to themselves a lot. But that totally has not been the case around here. Like, I'll just go to a store, and other people in the store, customers or employees, will just like kind of chit chat with you, and like the cashiers at the store, when they're checking you out, they'll talk to you, and just everybody is super friendly. And I've been saying that like people in Seattle are nice, but not necessarily friendly. These people are friendly. And so yesterday at the morning doggy gathering, my friend Scott invited everybody over to his house for homemade Indian food that he was going to be making that night. And I had to say no, unfortunately, because his wife had recently been really sick with some kind of virus. And I said, oh, that sounds really good, but I shouldn't, because I don't want to pick up what she had, and, it could end up with me being in the hospital. And him and Maya, the other person in our little group, there's a couple other people, but it was me, Scott, and Maya yesterday morning. So Scott and Maya were like really understanding, and then Scott said, well, if there's any leftovers, I'll bring you some leftovers. And I was like, cool. not really expecting that he would. But then last night, around 7:45 or so, I guess, the doorbell rings, and Mom and I were kind of like, what is this? Like, we weren't expecting anybody. And so I open the door, and there is Scott and Maya with their 2 dogs, and Scott has leftovers for me. And I was like, it was so cool of, him to do that. And then we went out and, let the dogs play together for a little while. But it was just really cool that he thought of me and wanted to like kind of include me that way, even though I couldn't actually be there with everybody else. Because, if you're a chronically sick person, you get left out of a lot of things, and it's not necessarily intentional. But like with last night, somebody who was, at the house had recently been sick, and I couldn't chance exposing myself to it. Or, there's times when I'm not feeling good, so I can't make it to something. And there's times that people just kind of don't invite you out to things because they kind of assume that maybe like you won't have the money, or you're not gonna go because, like you've had to cancel in the past. So they just don't invite you to things. And it's not meant to like be hurtful, but it is hurtful. In fact, it's one of the things that will actually hurt my feelings almost more than anything else when it's relating to me having CF and stuff. It really does hurt my feelings to not even be invited to go out to things. So it was just really cool that like this person that I've only known like a couple weeks, two and a half weeks, something like that, invited me over to his house for homemade dinner, and B, even like brought me the leftovers when I couldn't go. Like, it was just so cool. And like really considerate of him. And like, I know he doesn't know like how much it meant to me. And like, I'll probably tell him at some point. But, yeah, just really cool of him to do that. And then Maya actually lives right across the street from me. And she's retired. And she's a knitter, so like we've gotten to like kind of bond over like our mutual love of knitting and everything. And she also said to me that anytime that I need dog sitting, that, I can go ahead and ask her, like, since she's retired, and, Cosmo and her dog are good buddies, and she's got a fenced backyard that they can go run around in. And I told her that I would probably, there it goes, an airplane. I live really close to the Portland airport, so we hear a lot of jets and stuff going over. Anyway, she offered to dog sit if I ever need it, and I said that I probably at some point would end up taking her up on that. I said, if nothing else, probably like, the next time I end up in the hospital. And so, yeah, just, that's really cool. And it actually would, work out perfectly if she could just, watch him during the day while mom's at work. And then mom could just go get him when she gets home, and he can still, sleep in his house, with my mom here. So that would be really awesome. And that means a lot, that she would offer after having only known each other for, a few weeks. So, I don't know, yeah, I feel kind of silly now for having, like, so much anxiety and frustration over having to move down here. There's always going to be people and things that I miss about the Seattle area. I do still have, tons of friends up there, and the Chloe's Hope board is up there, and all that stuff. So, I mean, that is a little difficult, but I do miss them. But, it's also nice to know that I'm kind of making this home as well. Or this is like, not so much that I'm making it home, but it's like becoming home. And that, I'm making friends, and, it's been easier than I thought it was going to be. So that's really nice. Financially, I'm really strapped. So that sucks. I really kind of got used to that $40 a week I was making babysitting. So I'll have to maybe see if I can find some other people around here that might need the occasional babysitter. My mom said I might be able to make some extra money pet sitting or house sitting, like when her coworkers go out of town on vacation and stuff. So that would be cool. It definitely would not be like a regular gig. So I gotta figure something out. But also, once I just kind of get caught up on expenses from moving, because that's always expensive, and there's always, unforeseen things that you gotta spend money on. Once I get caught up on all of that, things will ease up, because I'm not paying as much rent here. So that's nice. But, it's time to start thinking about like new tires for my car and things like that. So I do need to come up with some sort of side hustle. Maybe I'll have some more luck selling my art down here. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's the update. We're doing good. Things are going better than expected, which is always a plus. Health-wise, I'm feeling great. Finished up IV antibiotics at the end of last month, and have felt fantastic ever since. Hopefully that lasts a while and I don't catch any more viruses. Tired of viruses this year. Sheesh. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me know what's going on with you down in the comments below. If you happen to be in the Portland, Vancouver area and know of cool stuff that I need to do or check out, let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.